Hi, it's the M.L.M for the Soul Channel. I do have a new topic for today. Before I begin, I just would like to say, may the words and expressions of my mouth and the thoughts and meditations of my heart find favor and acceptance before you, Hashem, and the people I thank who inspired me. Hope they can inspire you as well. And I will have links below this video to the sites here: Rabbi Shalom Arish, Rabbi Laser Brody, Rabbi Yosef Mizrahi, Rabbi Eli Mansour, Rabbi Alon Anavar, Rabbi Yuval Ovadia, Rabbi Daniel Oster, Nisan Baruch Black, David Sachs, Rabbi Michael Skobach, Jews for Judaism, Rabbi David Ashir, Rabbi Ron Ruvain, and Rabbi Yosef Chesney. As well, if you've never checked out this channel before, I will have a link below this video to my first video, which explains what M.L.M for the soul, what it means, what it stands for, and what I'm doing. So again, this is taken from the parasha from Rabbi Yosef Chesney, and this is for the parashat Balak, the upcoming parasha, and I call this Elevate Every Action. So the great philosophers of old speculated that one ought to be more embarrassed being seen eating than being seen relieving oneself. Eating is an animalistic act and is thus disgraceful. Relieving oneself is removing animalistic grime from their system. So the Torah's perspective of this is very different. When the Brisker Rav arrived in Yerushalayim, the Prushim sent, I don't know who the Prushim are, maybe it's some group, sent Rav David Baharan to feel him out. He paid a visit to the Rav's home, arriving just before a meal. Not wanting to make the Rav uncomfortable by observing him eat, he offered to return later. The Rav, however, dismissed his suggestion and invited him to stay. As soon as the meal was over, Rav David left without even making conversation. His friends asked him, "Why did you leave so soon?" He replied that was all that was needed to feel him out. They probed, "What could you have possibly seen without even having a conversation?" He replied, "By nature, people are ashamed to eat while others are watching, because they recognize that they are following their animalistic temptations and are embarrassed of it. The Rav's lack of self-consciousness demonstrates that he's eating purely to have strength to serve Hashem, and thus it is not an animalistic act and is nothing to be ashamed of. From this itself, I can see that he's an Adam Gadol, like a great person. I feel no need for further testing." So this is the Torah's perspective. Being engrossed in mundane acts for the right purpose elevates the act and makes it holy. Proper intention does not only uplift us, it elevates the entire world. We were put on this world, which requires us to be involved in mundane acts in order to elevate the physical world. Balak hired Bilam to curse Klal Yisrael. Needless to say, the mission was a failure. What was he thinking? We are the chosen nation, the children of the Avos, the patriarchs. Hashem performed so many miracles for us. Did he really think that Hashem would forsake us now? The Shem Shmuel explains that their plan was not to defeat Klal Yisrael. They were fine with them remaining a holy nation. What they wanted was to eliminate their ability to elevate the mundane world by using it for the service of Hashem. As the Medrash states in the pasuk of the Agrashnu Min Haaretz, Balak admitted that all he wanted was to prevent Klal Yisrael from entering Eretz Yisrael, to push them out, the gross to to not let them go there. I think that's what that word means. I'm not sure. Something like that. The Shem HaShmuel explains this medrash as follows. In the Midbar, Klal Yisrael were far removed from mundane life. They were enveloped in the holiness of the Ananei Kavod, which are the clouds of glory, and the Man was their main staple. Only when they entered Eretz Yisrael would they have the capacity to elevate the mundane world. This is what Balak hoped to prevent with Bilam's curses. So this interesting footnote he has here, that the Shem Shmuel explains that until the world becomes elevated, the Kochot Atuma, which are the powers of the other side that are impure, have the power. Risha'im, which means the wicked, receive their sustenance through their powers. Once the world reaches its perfection, the only way for them to receive sustenance is through Klal Yisrael, by being machnia themselves to them, meaning to get close to them. Balak and Bilam wanted to prevent this by removing this capacity from Klal Yisrael. Bilam did not succeed to curse them, but its causing them to sin did make it that the world would not reach perfection until the arrival of Mashiach. So in the brachos that Bilam expressed Klal Yisrael's power to elevate, Bilam expressed Klal Yisrael's power to elevate the world. He says, Mi mana afar Yaakov. Who can count the dirt of Yaakov? Rashi explained this to mean the mitzvahs that Klal Yisrael, which are the commandments, perform with dirt are endless. When they plow their fields, they don't use a shor and a chamor together, meaning it's two different types of animals they don't use together. When they plant it, they don't plant kalaim. I think that's like mixtures, so you're not supposed to plant of different things. The Shem Mishmuel explains that Hashem gives us mitzvos every step of the way to help us elevate the mundane. Seeing this, Bilam realized that it would be impossible for him to take away Klal Yisrael's capacity to elevate the mundane. From here we see how important it is to elevate our mundane acts by doing them for Hashem's sake. Rav Pam once told his dentist, "You have a great job. Helping people with their teeth is truly a chesed. It's a kindness. With this occupation, you can fill your day with chesed." The dentist replied, "Yes, this is a fringe benefit of my job." Rav Pam corrected him, saying something that gives us perspective. He said, "No, the primary function of this occupation is chesed. A fringe benefit of it is that you can also support your family with this job." What can we do to help us achieve this level of uplifting our every action? The answer to this can be found in the parsha as well. When Bilam was traveling to curse the Yidden, his donkey began to chastise him. It says, "Ki hechi tini zeh shalosh regalim." I think it's like you hit me 3 times. Rashi says this, it was hinting to him, you are trying to uproot a nation that celebrates the shalosh regalim. In other words, you will be unable to overpower the Yidden since they have this merit. Why does it specifically mention this suchus, this merit? Toso says that the mitzvah of being ola regel, meaning to go up to the regel, meaning to walk up, meaning it means really for the shalosh regalim, the 3 festivals, has an unbelievable power to transform a person. Because when he goes to the Beis HaMikdash and he sees how everything is centered on serving Hashem, it empowers him to realign his life with this focus. When our focus is to serve Hashem, this single-mindedness pervades our every action, thereby elevating our mundane acts. This was the message to Bilam. You cannot possibly overpower a nation that celebrates Shalosh Regalim. We no longer have a Beis HaMikdash, but this concept still applies. Visiting people whose focus is serving Hashem can help us gain perspective in our own lives. There is another way to achieve this goal. When Bilam was traveling to curse the Yidden, a malach came and blocked the road in a place where there was a wall on each side. Geder mizeh ugeder mizeh. That means a wall on each side. Chazal says it was a message for him. You cannot overpower the Yidden who possess the luchos, those are the tablets, whose words are engraved through and through, mizeh umizeh. Why does it mention this characteristic of the luchos? The Shem Yishmuel answers as follows. The luchos represent our hearts. The words of Torah were not merely written on the luchos, they were engraved through and through. This signifies that when we learn Torah with full concentration, it has the power to engrave itself into our hearts, thereby cleansing it and aligning it with Torah ideals. The Malach was hinting, a nation who possesses such a level of Torah cannot be overpowered. The message to us is by engrossing ourselves in Torah study, we can transform our heart and refocus it to serving Hashem. By performing our mundane acts with Hashem in mind, we can elevate the mundane, thereby bringing the world one step closer to its ultimate perfection. And may we all merit to live and see the coming of Mashiach speedily in our days and the rebuilding of our final and everlasting Beit HaMikdash. Amen, and thanks for watching.